right, everybody. This is a very special episode of the Nerdy Reads podcast. We're going to sing a little ditty. Robert, you're going to help me with this. Here we go. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know
I'm free.
Yes, but we won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I proudly stand up next to you and defend us. There it is. All right, we got Dylan.
Oh, I can't take anything serious anymore. Dylan's little short shorts, that Captain America mask on your face. Audio listeners, it's a delight or a crime to the eyes.
We'll post. There'll be pictures. We'll post a picture. Welcome to the Nerdy Reads podcast, where we read nerdy stuff such as sci-fi and fantasy books, comics, manga, and horror. We also discuss all other nerd things from around the globe. When was the last time you flew on a plane? Did the turbulence shake to the point where you believed that you may be moments away from the end? Well, we will discuss a story that attempts to explain that in a very interesting premise, and yet another short story from Stephen King's You Like It Darker. We're going straight Merica in the New Stuff Cafe, where we will be having burgers and discussing all sorts of 4th of July things. There will be some nerdy news and a lot of other fun along the way. I am one of your hosts, Justin, and with me is my friend and food crimes expert, Robert. What's up, dude?
Justin, what's going on? As always, I'm excited to be here for another episode of the Nerdy Reads podcast, and I'm going to kick it over to a man who needs no introduction. It's Dylan.
Listen, I'm feeling super patriotic today for this 4th of July. If you're not watching our video, you're really missing out. Sorry, audio listeners. We're getting patriotic over here.
That's right. That's right. Robert, I believe that you had a very patriotic question for us today.
Guys, I don't know what's more 4th of July than fireworks and backyard barbecues. So with that said, what's your go-to item, dude? You go to a friend's house for a barbecue, you're at a cookout. What is your favorite thing to munch on at a barbecue?
Well, for me, my favorite thing at a barbecue, I'll give you two things, 2 food items, and then a bevy, if you will, since we've reviewed bevies forever. So my favorite food item, main dish, is some of those vegan hot dogs, bro. I like those things on the grill. I like them a little burnt. I don't like them to be, I don't like them to just be done. I want them to be well done. I want them to be charred. You know, that's the deal. And then as a side, I really love some chips and salsa, but I like that private selection Kroger restaurant style salsa. That's my jam. Wash it down with a cool, cold Dr. Pepper Zero.
Dude, I respect it, dude. I respect that my boy wants the charred plants. Dylan, what up?
I think for me, if I was at a barbecue, I'm reaching for a fat, juicy meat patty on a bun with a side of creamy mac and cheesy macaroni and cheese. And for a beverage, you got to go with the classic Dusky.
You would.
I'm glad you went a giant meat patty between 2 buns and a Dusky to bring it all home, dude. I'm simple. I'm going to grab a brat, bro. I want a brat. I want some peppers in there. Just mustard. No ketchup on a brat. That's a crime. I want some mustard, peppers, bratwurst, dude. I'm ready to go. Side items, it depends whose house I'm at. Because, like, if I'm at my parents' house, no disrespect, and I see that, like, macaroni salad, no thanks. But if I'm at, like, my boy's house and he's got the baked beans with the little chopped up brisket pieces in it, yeah, let's go. And then for a drink, dude, just water. Bottle of water.
Look at this guy. Couldn't even give us a real bevy. He had to go just water. All right.
We're a family-friendly show here, man. Just bottle of water. I'm at a backyard barbecue.
Oh, so there is something else. It's not really just water. All right, guys. Yeah. It's time for us to discuss our first of 2 short stories that we will be covering on this episode. So hang tight. We'll be right back with the Turbulence expert here in just a moment. All right, welcome back, friends. If you have not been with us the past few weeks, we are journeying. You know, I've said that word several times since we've been doing this, and every time I say it wrong. So here we go. Through Stephen King's You Like It Darker book. It is a series of short stories, and today we are discussing two of those short stories. The first one being that we're covering is The Turbulence Expert. Robert, give us the rundown, my friend.
So The Turbulence Expert is a very short story. I think it raked in at about 14 pages. It follows Craig Dixon, a man who has, to me, one of the world's most unique professions. He's a turbulence expert. And one night, Craig gets a call from the facilitator who tells him his latest assignment. And Craig has to board a flight leaving Boston for Sarasota. Well, what is a turbulence expert? Justin, take it, dude.
So from what I gathered, I love that you threw this to me because we had a conversation earlier and I was like, I'm confused about this one. But a turbulence expert, from what I gathered, is a person who goes onto a plane. And Robert, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be very wrong about this. And if the plane, something bad is going to happen, but this person basically prevents it from happening. Is that kind of the...
So that's the gist I got too, dude. I threw it to you because I wanted to see where we're at. So the facilitator is some dude you never meet. He's like the man in the shadows, and he calls these turbulence experts, and he's like, hey, this plane going from here to here is going to experience what is called clear sky. I think it was clear air turbulence. And it's like the most dangerous form of turbulence you can run into. So the turbulence expert gets on the plane. He knows it's going to happen, but the caveat is he can keep it afloat, but he's so afraid while it's happening because in his mind, he sees what would happen if he's not on the plane. He lives the crash mentally. He lives it as if it really happens. He sees everything, all the gruesome details, and then it's over and everyone on the plane lives. It was very weird. It was very unique, very Stephen King.
Very Stephen King. So what you gathered from this, because that's what I had some questions about this too, is that basically it's kind of an alternate reality deal. Is that what you're saying?
I think there's definitely some like precognitive ability to it. I don't know about an alternate reality. I think it's just like a premonition. Like they can see so far into the future for this specific thing. Based in I mean, this story was only 14 pages, and it kind of left a lot up to your imagination.
Yeah. Well, because then at the end, you know, he's in the car with the lady who was also on the plane. And I think it's cool for us to get right to this, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And he's basically pitching the idea to her that, hey, this is what I do. And it was funny because he's like rolling up the privacy window. She thinks he's going to make a move on her. And then, but the reality is he's pitching to her that, hey, you could be the next turbulence expert. You get to travel, takes good care of you, all that kind of stuff. She reveals that she's a librarian. And he's like, I knew you were a librarian. I could see it. I figured it out. She was talking about, though, when they were in the car and he was explaining this to her, how I guess she said that she saw the fear from him, but she didn't notice it from anybody else. But he was saying he saw it from her, too. Is that kind of the deal?
Yeah, well, so basically, like, he gets on the plane and this woman, Mary, that you're talking about, is next to him. And when they hit that clear air turbulence, the businessman next to him, he's chilling. He's like, oh, this ain't nothing. But sure. Mary and Craig, they're like living the plane crash. And when it's over, she kind of looks right at him and says, this plane was going to crash. I'm sure of it. I saw it happen. And that's when Craig was kind of like, oh, yeah, she's like me. She's one of us.
There it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, dude, it's weird how this one, maybe it was because it was so short that I feel like there were a lot of details I missed in this one outside of some of the ending and kind of how the plane was going down. But I mean, this was a really cool premise. It was very unique in comparison to everything else we've done so far. It was definitely unique. I think the part where you were talking about towards the end when he's like, hey, you know, you can do this job. It was kind of like a, you know, scratch my back and I won't scratch your situation, because he doesn't tell Mary. He's like, hey, if you want to be a turbulence expert, you know, you're going to get paid really well. X, Y, and Z happens, but you can't just quit.
Like they will assassinate you. You have to do it for so long. But for every turbulence expert you recruit, you get 2 years off your sentence.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, oh, I can retire 2 years early and put this little old lady who's probably going to die before she runs out her time because she was older to do this.
That's true. I remember because in the beginning, he was talking about how there were rumors that if you were to walk away, that you would basically be slaughtered and killed.
Right.
And he was like, I don't know if I believe that. But then in another way, I do believe that. So, okay.
I believe it too. And I'll give like a couple nods here. Like when stories make me actually have to like hit the internet for something. And I'll be honest, I didn't know clear air turbulence was a thing. So I Googled it. And I was like, okay, cool. Now I have a phobia of flying that never existed. Thanks for that, Stephen King. Because nowadays, most air travel, they can kind of predict where the turbulence is, except this clear air turbulence, it can just pop up and they're not prepared for it. So it's like the most dangerous form of turbulence you can encounter, to my knowledge of the little research I did. So that was like, okay, sweet, new phobia. But I think if you have like a fear of flying or you travel often, the story might hit a little harder for you. I've only been on a plane like a couple of times in my life, so I don't really have that healthy fear of flying. I'm just like, yeah, man, I'll get on a plane. Let's do it.
That's fair. All right, man. You ready to get into lightning round here?
Let's roll.
All right, we got a few questions on here. So you said you flew a couple times. Dylan, you can answer this first one too. But have you ever had a bad experience while flying? Dylan, we'll kick it off with you, man.
Never flew.
Oh, our sweet baby Dylan's never been on a plane. That's fair. Robert?
Dude, no, I've never had a bad experience on a flight. I got on. I've been anxious both times getting on airplanes, but once I've been up in the air, dude, I've just, kind of chilling. No bad experiences. If I experience turbulence, I'll never fly again.
So I haven't really had what I would call like a terrible experience, but my last experience flying, it was on our way to Vegas. And so Maggie hasn't been on a plane since she threw me on under the bus on our social medias this week. I'm going to go ahead and throw her under the bus right now. So we're flying. Maggie? Yeah. What up, Maggie? So we're flying. I'm sitting in the middle seat. She's at the window and I have this little kid to my left. And I don't know, he's probably anywhere between 8 and 11, somewhere in that range. And every time the plane would do any kind of like, little turbulence action, Maggie's eyes would all of a sudden get real wide. And she'd grab my arm real hard. She'd be like, and I'm like, dude, it's okay. And the kid next to me would be like, oh my God. And all of a sudden, so he thinks we're going to die. Maggie thinks we're going to die the entire way. I'm sitting there dying laughing, and Maggie's like, don't lie, you're scared. I'm like, oh, I'm good. So anyway, not a terrible experience. It was more funny. All right, here we go. Would you accept Craig's offer and become a turbulence expert? Robert, would you do it?
I mean, if the price is right.
Would you?
Yeah, dude, if the price is right, like what, get on a plane. I know it's not going to crash because I'm on it and I'm going to make bank. I'm in my 30s. I got a lot of life to live. How long do I have to sign up for? Craig's out here talking about the fancy restaurants he's eating in, the limo picking him up, how he wants for nothing because of all the money he makes. Heck yeah, dude, put me on the plane. Facilitator can call me tomorrow.
Dude, if Robert starts flying all the time, we know.
You know what's up.
It was from this show.
Yeah.
He became a turbulence expert. Listen, dude, I'm not getting on. I'm not doing that. Because, bro, listen, you live in fear of death constantly. Like, yes, he may know in his heart of hearts, but I don't know. Does he know in his heart of hearts he's not going to die? Because if you know in your heart of hearts you're not going to die, you're not going to be that fearful. He literally fears for his life every time he gets on an airplane. No, thank you. What is your favorite movie involving airplanes? Go ahead, Dylan.
Snakes on a plane.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. That's mine, bro. Why wouldn't it be? Why is it anything other than Snakes on a Plane? Go ahead, Robert.
So mine's not Snakes on a Plane, but I respect both of you having that answer. I'm going to go ahead and ride for Maggie. Maggie, we're from the same generation. I'm surprised Justin didn't have more fear on that plane. I've seen Final Destination too, Maggie. I know what's up. I'd have been afraid of that turbulence also. It's definitely Final Destination. That movie terrified me of a lot of things as a kid, specifically airplanes and riding behind trucks carrying like giant logs.
All right. Let's go ahead and hit it with these final 3 words. Robert, give us yours, man.
Weird superpower.
It is a weird superpower. Mine's specifically for Mary, and I guess it's for you too, Robert. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I would do it, though.
Don't do it, though. Don't do it. All right, guys, give us just a few minutes. We'll be right back. We're having a very interesting New Stuff Cafe here in just a moment. Well, welcome, friends, to the New Stuff Cafe. You know, this New Stuff Cafe segment, hey, it's brought to you by our boys over there at the Optic Blast Broadcast, who just released episode number 7. They talk about Wolverine and Predator, so it's a really, really cool episode. Encourage you to go check that out. Check them out on YouTube. So without further ado, happy 4th of July, everybody. This episode's coming out on 4th of July, which is really, really cool. So it's a holiday episode, holiday release. You know, if you don't watch it on 4th, well, we'll forgive you since you're probably hanging out with your family, shooting off fireworks and all that kind of stuff. But we wanted to talk with you guys and share a little bit of fun here in a few minutes with an article we found. But before we do, Robert, what are we having today?
Today, I just asked everyone to bring their favorite burger or something, you know, Merica related, man. Just something like full on what gets you in the festive spirit for America's birthday. Happy birthday, America. Dylan, what do you got today?
Do you ever want a Stanley Cup with a handle on it?
Oh, boy.
And a little cup for your snacky snacks to go on top? Well, look no further than the Walmart special. For $8, you can pick up this here Stanley Cup with a snacky cup on top. And
is that a hot dog in the Stanley Cup, bro?
Yeah, that's my glizzy with a little ketchup and some Doritos with Freedom Fusion to wash it down with. Ain't nothing more America than that.
Dylan, I respect what's happening here. Freedom Fusion is actually sitting at the top of my Mountain Dew tier list. And, dude, I have a Mountain Dew here today, Infinite Swirl. It's another summer release. You can only get this at Speedway or 7-Elevens. Blast of artificial pineapple berry flavor.
Well, I'll go ahead and share mine since you're moving your cat off your desk.
Thank you.
I brought with me the All-American vegan glizzy with mustard and jalapenos on a slab of bread.
Slab of bread? Couldn't even get a bun?
Bro, we don't afford buns around here, bro.
Bro,
to wash it down, I got some Squirt Zero Sugar, baby. Got that Squirt.
Oh, yeah, dude. Nice.
They dropped that Zero Sugar, bro. You know,
I respect the toppings on your glizzy. Now, I was going to go the burger route, and what's more Merica than McDonald's? And, dude, I found out recently last week that your wife, Maggie, and I, we get the same thing at McDonald's. We both get the double quarter pounder with cheese, guys. I said the double quarter pounder with cheese. It's actually a really good fast food item. It's huge. Sometimes that burger's so big I can't finish it all. So respect to Maggie who eats every bite. But I decided to let the double quarter pounder go. In honor of America, I wanted to do something truly food crime-ish. So I got the Big Mac, but I didn't stop there. I got the filet of fish. I got the McChicken, and I made the land, sea, and air burger. And just for you, Justin, I kept all the nasty sauces on there.
You're a foul man.
Look at that.
You got that tartar, bro?
The tartar is on here.
You got that tartar, bro. I'm almost done with my little glizzy.
All right, man. Cheers.
Cheers, bros. Skull.
I'm gonna try and get a bite of all of this in one go.
Oh man. Oh. My man's got that tartar on the side of his mouth. Bro, get it after, you sicko. Oh my gosh, man. Bro took his time. You even cooked Dylan over there, bro. Dylan doesn't even know how to act now.
I'm convinced you moved all the sauce to one side so it's squirting it out just so Jesse can see it.
What a name for a soda right here.
Oh my gosh. The Land, Sea, and Air sent me back about $9. I don't recommend doing this. However, it was an experience. I'm not going to eat the whole thing. It's like 1,300 calories. Whew. Filet of fish is nasty, bro. Are there people out there who actually buy these things and consume them like because they enjoy the taste? That was the worst part of the whole thing. The McChicken, the Big Mac, that was fine. But when I got that to the filet of fish, the fish disc, as it was not
disc?
It.
I thought they were squares.
Dude, it's like a square. It's like a square disc.
Okay. Like a floppy disk. It's a floppy disk.
I might take the McChicken off and just eat that. That was actually pretty good.
Dylan's already done with the glizzy, moved on to the Doritos. Bro, that cup is legit. For those of you, if you aren't watching and you're just a listener, this cup is epic. You bought that at Walmart, did you?
Yeah, $8. Good deal.
That is a good deal.
That's a great deal. So was it $8 for the cup and the lid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. That might be a must-have item.
Why? It might be. Like, why buy a Stanley? You can get 8 of those for the price of a Stanley.
No doubt. No doubt. Speaking of must-haves, so we found on parade.com, they said, what is this? 26 4th of July essentials you need for your 4th of July party. What we're going to do here, we're going to share this on the screen for you video watchers. And if you're an audio listener, Robert is a sicko right now as he's continuing to remove the tartar, mayonnaise, and Speakle's secret special BK or not. Yeah, Big Mac sauce or whatever it is from his beard. You're disgusting. But we're going to try to describe each of these items in the best of our ability. We'll help you determine whether or not these are legitimately essential. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves started. 26 festive 4th of July party essentials. Here we go. First one that we have coming up is the American flag cornhole boards. Yep. It's going to run you $135 on Amazon.
But bro, when's the last time you've been to a backyard barbecue in the last decade and there wasn't a pair of these bad boys sitting out there?
Cornhole boards or the American flag cornhole boards?
Cornhole boards in general. Now, the American flag ones take it to the next level.
I mean, that's 4th of July right there. You don't get much more 4th of July than that. All right, let's keep it moving. Number 2.
Right. That's a buy. Next.
All right. Next, we have the cute corn holders. So this is, I would consider this an essential. I miss these. I remember having these when I was a child, and you would get the corn, and you would just stab them in both ends, and that's what you ate. You know, that's all right. I sometimes wish I had these now.
I own these. We actually have them at the house. I love them, dude. I tear corn on the cob up because of these. Dylan,
I might have to go ahead and order these things right now.
It's a little difficult for me to eat corn on the cob.
It's because he's missing a tooth.
All right, so that's a Dirty Reads endorsement for the cute corn holders.
Hey, dude, so far we're 2 for 2, baby.
I have to shave the corn off of the.
Oh, Dylan. Dylan's making us sad today. We're supposed to be having fun right now. 4th of July party essentials. Dylan's got to bring the mood down. All right, we have drink pouches for adults. So basically Capri Sun with liquor in them.
Yeah, no thanks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened to solo cups?
Yeah, dude. Yo, mix your own bevies, y'all. Mix your own bevies. Don't be lazy.
Pass.
All right. Pass on this. 100 pack for $14 though. I mean, come on. What kind of liqueur is in this, bro? I'm gonna have to look into this. I guess so. Next, we have the supersized beer pong game, which is legit.
This is legit. Like, it looks like it's like huge. So you're not drinking out of this cup, which I respect this. Like, if you're going to play beer pong, the nastiest part of that to me was always like having to chug the drink that the ping pong ball landed in. Like, who wants to do that, dude? That
Everybody's fingers everybody's sweaty fingers have been on there.
Exactly. This though right here, I'd play it if I was at someone's house and they had it, but I wouldn't buy it personally.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'll play, but I ain't buying. Especially for $55. No thanks.
Pass.
Dylan, you passing?
I'd probably pass. Yeah.
All right, let's keep moving. Guys, we have 21 of these. We'll have to super. Oh, American flag top for women.
Round, let's go.
Oh, hey, I'll buy this.
Veronica, I'm getting you too.
Next. Tiki Tunes portable Bluetooth speakers. Who doesn't need a Bluetooth speaker though for your outdoor party? You know.
Yeah.
Play your jams.
That's a pass for me, bro. I'm gonna get some good ones. No thank you.
Yeah, that's true. Keep moving. You don't need these. All right, hey, Slamo game set, spike ball, essentially, which is a fun game. So,
I've never played this before, but I would play it if it was at your house. Pass for me.
There you go. All right. Slam ball.
I'm not very good at spike ball, so I'd probably pass.
Yes, it is fun though. Handheld American flags. Come on now, I got one right here. Woo! It's an essential, baby. 100 pack for $24.99. You know what? Line your driveway with this.
I'm gonna buy these today, and I'm gonna stick them all over my dad's yard.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Bye.
Number 9, gold glitter straws. No, thank you.
I feel like this is something you do if you're like one of those Pinterest people. Pass.
Yeah, pass. We don't need this. Inflatable patriotic drink cooler. It essentially looks like a kiddie pool with American flag stuff that you just pour ice in. It's $14.99. So if you need a kiddie pool, there you go.
You can throw that in a big pool and it'll float around.
Hey.
Oh yeah, dude.
It will. Dude, I don't have a swimming pool, but if I did, I'd have 3 of these. Bye.
Yeah, bro. This is a buy if you have a swimming pool. Maybe not for your drink thing because it looks a little like it's not made for that, but whatever.
It's right.
All right. It is cool. All right. We have patriotic plates and napkins. I mean, $17.99, bro.
Yeah, $17.99.
That's a 193 piece. That's not bad.
Oh, $1.93 ain't bad for $17.99.
Yeah, dude. If you're having a party, this isn't a bad deal. Amazon's where it's at. Look at these.
Yeah, that's not. It said it serves 24. It's pretty good.
If you're really American, you're just gonna raw dog it and go no plate.
Next, please. Next. We have we'll just pass the banner. We don't need no banners. USA fanny pack. Okay, fanny pack. Dylan, this is the one thing you're missing.
I know. I am actually really sad I didn't buy that. I saw it on Amazon and was considering buying it, and I never did.
Yeah, that's you, bro. Everybody needs a fanny pack.
Imagine a dooski in the pouch, and I don't know what else I'd put in the front pocket, but I'd figure it out.
A glizzy.
Glizzy.
Glizzy in the front pocket, dooski in the coat pouch. Yeah.
Tots in the little one. You're good, bro. You're all set. We have our 4th of July party pack. I mean, if that's you, bro.
This ain't me at all.
Let's move it on. This next thing is definitely Dylan, though. We have a vintage American flag cowboy hat.
Only $19.99, Dylan.
That was better. This one was like $8, and it's kind of not great.
Well, next year upgrade to this one. There you go. We have our lit patriotic tank top coming up next. This is going to run you a smooth $27.99. Tipsy Elves navy blue lit patriotic tank top. Lit. Oh, I get it now. Okay, lighting the fire. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and some other.
You're
things.
The kind of guy that's going to need.
I'm the what?
You're the kind of guy that's going to need my advice for today.
Wow. Okay, fair enough. Up next, we got Independence Day body glitter. That's Dylan all over it. $6.99. Dylan, that's a deal for you, bro.
I'd take it.
Next, 4th of July temporary tattoos. I mean, if you have kids, this is a must buy.
Hey, what an amazing way to show your kids the dangers of getting a tattoo before you can really afford a good one.
Yeah, there you go. And they glow in dark. I mean, come on. I wish mine did.
Heck yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Dude, seriously. That would be sweet.
That'd be cool. What is this shirt? Legally blonde hot dog tee. You look like the 4th of July.
Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
This is a must buy, right?
I want this shirt. I want it tomorrow. What are we doing?
$15.99, bro. Patriotic dog bandanas. All right.
Absolutely, dude.
Ain't nothing wrong with a
dog
dog bandana. There you go. Yeah, bro,
like
that would look good on them. That'd look good on them. Last but certainly not least, temporary face tattoos.
No.
This list is something. All right, guys, we'll share the link to thisparade.com and you can determine whether or not you think these are essentials or if you agree with us on what's essential for your 4th of July party this year.
What an unhinged list.
Dylan, I feel like Dylan can't even say that he wouldn't buy half those things. Look at our man right now, dude.
That's true.
He's missing those tattoos. You need those face tattoos is what you need. All right, guys, give us just a few minutes. We'll be right back. We're going to talk through our second short story from the You Like It Darker series, or You Like It Darker book. Sorry, Laurie, here in just a minute. All right, now it is time for our second short story today. And this time we are discussing Laurie. Robert, go ahead and give us the rundown on this one.
Laurie follows the tale of Lloyd Sunderland grieving the death of his wife and just kind of like going through the motions in the months that followed. His sister Beth decided Lloyd needed a little something to keep him busy and gifted him a border collie Moody mix puppy. Mm-hmm. Lloyd would go on to name her Laurie.
And this one, I mean, if I were to tag this anything, I mean, it's cozy with, you know, takes a typical king turn at one point in this story, but it's very cozy read in comparison to probably everything else we've read from him so far in this book.
I'm not going to lie, dude. I didn't know I wanted cozy Stephen King in my life, but yeah. I do. Like, I love this book. It was like 20 something pages long. And right off the rip, we just don't deserve dogs, man. I looked up the breed of the dog in this novel, and they are absolutely adorable. I'll throw a picture under the floof section in our Discord of a border collie muddy mix. I don't know how to say that breed. But so we have like a 65-year-old man living in like a small island community in Florida, and he's grieving the loss of his partner, like I mentioned. So like he just cares little for his health or his well-being. Mm-hmm. And his sister slides by one day and she's like, "Hey, look at this puppy. This is yours." And at first Lloyd's like, "Nah, I don't want that dog. That's too much responsibility. That's too much hassle." But ultimately he like comes around and accepts it, and then he names it Laurie. And I really thought it was cool how Lloyd wouldn't give the dog a name at first, because he said like, if you name the dog, you're claiming ownership. So I actually thought it was like sweet and a little touching when he named the dog.
Yeah, because then you start to see the way that a relationship builds between a person and a dog. Like he takes Laurie with him everywhere he goes. And, you know, he doesn't even like to leave Laurie for, you know, to go to the grocery store. And when he comes back, there she is waiting on him. And it just feels like a typical, you know, I don't know how many of our listeners or even how many of us in this show right here, but you know, if you've had like an older grandparent and just to see their relationship with their little dog, it just kind of reminded me of my grandma when she had her little chihuahuas and she'd take them literally everywhere and they were just like her best little friends. I just kept thinking that during this whole little portion of it. Just reminded me of that connection. So really cool.
It was really cool. But dude, like Stephen King being known mostly for horror, I was like predicting where the story was going to go while I was reading it. And I was like preparing for the worst. I'm like, oh, man, he's going to get attached to this dog. At the beginning of the novel, there was a sign that said, "Watch out for alligators," but alligators is slashed out and said aliens. So I'm like, is this dog an alien? What's going on with this dog? Is this dog his wife reincarnated? Is this dog going to get eaten by an alligator? Like, that's just where my mind went because of who he is, known for the genre he typically writes. But dude, I'm happy to report that, spoiler alert, Laurie's just a dog, everyone, and a pretty awesome dog at that.
Yeah, dude. This dog gets this man through some times. And so let's talk a little bit about, I want to share a little quote from Discord that I thought was absolutely hilarious. And it was by that one house elf. And so, hey, if you're a part of our Discord and you want to be a part of these conversations, man, we encourage you to go do that. But under the Laurie on the one house elf shared that just goes, man, wholesome, sweet, and then bam, Florida. And I was like, dude, you don't get much better than that. That's exactly what this is. Bam, Florida happens. Robert,
that could be the 3 words to describe the story.
You don't
wholesome,
even need
sweet Florida.
Wholesome, sweet Florida. Yeah.
So like the story unfolds like Justice said. You see the dog and Lloyd grow this bond, and it's really just a tale between those two. It's like kind of bittersweet, man. Like he overcame his grief, he acclimated and accepted his new life without his wife. And while I said earlier I kept waiting for Hor to jump in, it eventually does. Like one day he's walking his dog to this fish restaurant where they would go have lunch every day, and they happen upon like a cane covered in blood, his neighbor's cane. And Laurie runs off in the direction of the blood, like barking like crazy, and Lloyd gives chase. And he finds his neighbor's body under an alligator, which is Florida. What up?
Yep.
The alligator killed Don, the neighbor, and the entire scene that followed, dude, had me tense. I'm like, oh my God, dude, this dog's going to get eaten by this alligator. If Laurie dies, I riot. I quit the book.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that reel. My mind immediately went to that reel where I guess this dude, maybe they are in Florida, but they're on that dock, and this dude's like working on his boat, and he has this like black lab sitting there barking at the water because this crocodiles or alligators just swimming, and grabs the dog, but the dog lives. Like it pulls the dog into the water, and somehow the dude jumps in and does like the people's elbow to the alligator.
Hey, dude, you talk about riding for your pet, bro. Dude, if you're out here elbowing an alligator, save your dog.
The dog lives. Rider. But I just started thinking about that. I was like, because as Laurie's barking, I'm like, please don't let this be that situation. Don't let Laurie get eaten. Not by this alligator. And I was like, this is what King's gonna do this. That's what King's about to do to us. But go on. Sorry.
Yeah, dude. Luckily nothing happens to Laurie. She lives and her neighbor lives. It was a pretty cool scene. And ultimately at the end of the day, like a wild game expert shows up. He's like, hey, that alligator was just protecting its clutch of eggs. Like your neighbor probably got too close. And that's essentially what happened. So the dog, like nothing bad happened to the dog. Nothing bad happened. Like the horror that King's known for was here, but it was for Don the neighbor. And I argue, dude, you can actually, for me, you can just take that entire scene out of it. You can get rid of the alligator scene altogether, and you would have been left with like a touching, cozy tale about a man and their dog and growing old and giving your life new purpose, overcoming grief. As a dog owner, I'm rating this one high. This is probably my second favorite book in the short story in the entire collection.
I was going to say the same thing, and a part of me wonders if it's King's too, because I'm wondering if that's what this cover art is based off of, is this story. So
I would have to assume that's what the cover art's based off of. But like dogs have been an irreplaceable part of my life for as long as I can remember. I've had dogs. Like my earliest memory is I had a Chihuahua named Sam when I was a toddler. My mom's a huge dog person. She has 6 right now. I'm married an insane dog person. We have 4. So dude, this story just hit me on a different level. Really enjoyed it.
For sure. All right, well, let's get into our lightning round. What are your feelings on Cozy King? We'll start there. And, I know we've already kind of hit on this a little bit, but, give us a little brief rundown on how you feel about Cozy King as a whole.
I'd read another one. If he put out another story that was just like feel good, cozy, like something to do with like, life and what's going on later in life, something like that, I'd read it.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised. Yeah.
Well, if anybody knows us on this show, and if this is your first time listening, welcome. But also, we here at the Nerdy Reads podcast love slice of life, cozy stuff. It's a big part of what we enjoy. So Cozy King really, really was something that I connected with and really enjoyed. So I would read if he came out with a cozy book, I'm in. All right, what is your all-time favorite dog celebrity? Dylan, we'll start this with you, my man. I feel like it's Air Bud or something, but go ahead. I'm just basing off your age. Dude, did I get it right again?
No. I was going to go with the Chihuahua from Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Yeah.
There you go. Robert?
I'm going to go an old school and a new school. All right.
Okay.
Old school dog celebrity is going to be the Taco Bell dog, Yokiro Taco Bell, the little Chihuahua. And new school, I'm going to go with the Hammy, the corgi from the Hammy and Olivia videos all over the internet. I love that little dude.
Can it be a cartoon?
Sure.
All right, dude. Mine's Charlie. Charlie from All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Aww.
All Dogs Go to Heaven is one of my favorite kid movies when I was younger. And
talk about bringing down the vibe now.
Charlie. I love Charlie, bro. All right. So last question here. Has pet ownership ever gotten you through a tough time? You know, this is a moment to kind of get real. We don't do a whole lot of this here on Nerdy Reads Podcast, but, I think we are all big time pet people here. And, I share the same sentiments as Robert, and I've always had dogs my entire life. I have 2 of them now, had 3 of them up until very recently. And so, yeah, dude, dogs have always been a big part. So, Dylan, you can kick us off with this one too, man. Has pet ownership ever gotten you through a tougher time?
Yeah, I think so. I think as I was growing up, I did have a dog that we had a special bond, I feel like, and she's been there for I don't know, she's 12 years old or 13 years old now. So she's been with me for quite some time. And so she's been great. And then also my first dog that I purchased myself. So the other dog is technically my mom's dog, but the only dog that I purchased myself, Malia, I've had her for about a year and a half now. And it was tough because it was she was a puppy. And so I was dealing with a lot of the usual puppy stuff. But at the same time, she's my puppy and I got to take care of her and she's special to me. So I love her. And she got me through a bit of a tough time. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that, bro. Robert?
So there was a time in my life where I was working third shift and my wife works first shift and my kids are kids. They're in school. So the only time I saw my family for a year and a half was rare. I would be awake to take the kids to school and then I'd sleep, pick them up from school. I got to spend very little time with them. It kind of made me feel ostracized from my family a bit. I was kind of living a different life away from them. And that was something I struggled with. But we got a puppy named Hagrid, because my wife wanted a bigger dog because she didn't like being here alone at night. And I've never been a big dog person. But Hagrid, he's about 80 something pounds, German Shepherd, Black Lab mix. That dog changed me, dude. That dog, I'm now a big fan of big dogs. Hagrid he got me through one of the toughest times in my life, dude. And that's just my boy right there.
Yeah. So when I can't remember how old I was. Maybe I was 12 or 13. I got a basset hound named Betsy. Robert remembers Betsy.
I remember old Betsy.
She was my girl. And so from the age of, so I guess Lucy wasn't even born yet when we had to put her down because she was just getting her health was so run down. But throughout all of my young adult years, she moved with me to every single apartment. We lived in my van for a month. This dog was with me through every single stage of life until I had my own children. And that dog got me through a whole lot of things. And I remember Maggie was because Maggie's she'd never seen me ever cry before. But I remember laying in the fetal position at the vet office, unconsolable over losing my girl Betsy. But that's just what's cool about pets. They're a part of you. They're a part of your life. They're a part of your family. And even thinking of we all have dogs now that are a part of what we do. We got Bruno and Gimli over here who are both awesome. And we had a dog, Susie, we just lost recently too. But I mean, dude, you just get connected to dogs in a different way. And this story, I think, really, really speaks to that and what that relationship and what can happen. Because you have a dude who lost his wife, gets a dog, and does it fix it? No. Does it make life better? Yes. And so
Absolutely, dude. I'll end with the Hagrid quirk he does, dude. So when one of the things I miss is like falling asleep alone. Hagrid would sleep with me in bed, but he would never sleep in our bed with Veronica. He'd always jump down and made her so mad. And to this day, like if Veronica goes out like on a vacation with like her friends and it's me at the house by myself for a while, Hagrid will get up in our bed and sleep with me while she's gone. And as soon as she's back, he's back. He won't get in the bed with her. And if I'm not here and she's in the bed alone, he won't get in the bed and sleep with her. That dude will lay right there in her spot and lay with me, dude, if she's not here.
Hey, another fun fact from Hagrid and Veronica. I hope you're listening. But the one time I watched Hagrid at my house, Hagrid slept in my bed. So, oh man, let's give our final 3 words for this one. Great story. So, Robert, go ahead and share. You kick us off, bro.
Man's best friend.
That's a good one. I put cozy with gore.
Nice. I want to just say that one house elf, she nailed it.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Bam, Florida. I mean, that's pretty much it. You don't need 3. You just need 2. All right, guys, give us just a second. We'll be right back. We got some nerdy news on the way.
All right, it's time for some nerdy news. Every time you tune into an episode of the Nerdy Reads podcast, you can expect some of the latest and greatest news beyond the Nerdverse. And each week we kick things off with a sighting of the week. And this week I decided to do something a little bit different. So on TikTok, I recently came across this sensation, I guess you could say. Not really. It's probably not as popular as I think. But basically, it's people realizing like that they have free will. We have free will. We can literally do whatever we want. Okay. And so this week, I wanted to kind of highlight this dude who decided to take that to the next level. So his name is Luke. His username on TikTok is sailing_songbird. His name is Luke. He was a middle school music teacher. And pretty much he decided that he was going to sell everything he had. He was going to quit his job, buy himself a sailboat, and sail all the way around the world. So,
okay, I've seen this.
Yeah.
Maybe you sent it to me.
I may have. I don't know. Yeah. But this isn't necessarily a sighting. I realized that, but I thought it was cool to like highlight because this bro, I mean, he's like, I can do what I want. So I'm just going to sell everything and just sail around the world. Like, I just think that's so cool. And he's like documenting it all on his
That is pretty
TikTok.
Awesome, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you should share his TikTok in on our sighting board so people can check that out. I believe maybe I saw that on a YouTube or an Instagram reel or something, but I have seen this dude, and it is pretty cool because he did exactly what you just said. He's just like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this thing. There's another dude similar to that who decided he was going to run the length of Africa. And so he's been doing that for like 2 or 3 years or something like that. I can't remember how long he's been doing it, but it's just people who just make the decision. They're like, you know what, dude, I'm not going to fall into a mold. I'm not going to do the same thing everybody else is doing. I'm just going to go do my own thing and live a different way. And they pull it off, and it's pretty crazy and kind of cool. So good for you guys.
I feel like we often get stuck in like a routine or like kind of feel like we have to do certain things in life, and then we kind of forget that we can literally do whatever we want. Like, to a degree, obviously. Like, I mean, don't go out breaking any laws, but
you can do that too, though. There's just consequences.
I mean, yeah, there's just consequences. So, like, I mean, we don't endorse that. I mean, we're not supporting that necessarily. Just be aware that if you are going to do that, you have the ability to. You just have to. There's some consequences with that. So,
say GTA 5 in real life. You know.
Yeah. you play GTA 5 in real life, you're gonna get 5 stars real quick. So,
say accurate.
And you're not escaping. Hey,
no, you are not. I like that. Appreciate that you sharing that, bro. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was a great one, man. I thought it was really wholesome. I felt like we needed something wholesome on the sighting this week. So
yeah, bro, I'm here for that.
Speaking of video games, though, something pretty epic release, and I believe Robert has gotten to experience some of it, I'm assuming, already. But like 2 weeks ago, we got the release of the highly anticipated expansion or DLC for the 2021, 2022, something like that.
2022.
2022 massive hit, Elden Ring, called Shadow of the Erd Tree. And this is like a pretty big DLC for the game. I believe there's like, I want to say 20 to like 40 something hours, depending on how much you want to complete of the DLC. But like, there's like 20 to 40 something hours worth of gameplay. And so like, it's almost a whole nother game. I believe the original game was like 50 to 70 hours. So it's not quite that big, but I mean, it's pretty big for a DLC, I think. And I mean, I'm a big fan of Elden Ring. I'm assuming Robert's already played at least some of it and gotten to experience a little bit. He pulled up some awesome gameplay to play over as I'm talking about it. But I mean, I'm pretty excited for it. I haven't got to play it yet. I haven't quite had the time to do that, unfortunately. But I eventually do plan on diving into this new DLC.
So this DLC's already sold 5 million copies, which is crazy. It's insane. And the game, like you said, is 20 to 40 hours. It's huge, dude. Like when I first stepped into the world, I was like, okay, wow, it's massive. It's hard. Like I love the original Elden Ring. It's a game I played for probably 6 months of my life. Took me 130, 140 hours to do everything. I platinum trophied the game. I jumped into this DLC thinking my character was going to be over leveled and we're going to be wrecking stuff. See that Divine Beast dancing lion on the screen? He humbled me so much that I haven't played the game in 2 weeks. I turned it off and went and played Ocarina of Time, a 26-year-old Zelda game, because I needed to feel comforting and safe. That's what Elden Ring did to me. That DLC is hard, but it's awesome. I'm going to get back to it.
It's crazy that they sold 5 million copies of the DLC. I just looked it up to see what the percentage. So as of June 21st, the number of players that had completed and beat Elden Ring was only 39.6%.
And then nuts, dude.
So that's like how many people actually beat the game. I don't know how many copies. I know it sold crazy amount of copies, but did it sell enough to where 5 million? I wonder if, I mean, it's just interesting because did 5 million people beat the game, that bought the DLC? Seems like probably a lot of people bought it that probably didn't finish the game.
So like the base game sold 23 million copies.
Oh, okay. Then probably.
So you don't have to beat Elden Ring to do the DLC. You have to beat a couple of bosses to get there. And once you beat the couple bosses, the DLC area kind of opens up. But I'm here to tell y'all, it's brutal. I played a lot of these From Software games, and this one's, it's rough. I got destroyed. I got humbled.
Beautiful world, though, in this game.
Oh, yeah.
It is absolutely insane. It's insane how beautiful this game world is.
Hey, bro,
Cool.
I heard from Tyler and Travis from the Last Co-op podcast that Crash Bandicoot is actually harder than this.
Yeah, well, I asked them to put their money where their mouth was and buy this game, which they did. And Tyler's already done with it.
Did he beat it or?
No, he's done. He said this. He told me this game was not for him. And then Travis is still trying, but he sent me a video of him dying to an enemy I specifically told him to avoid at the beginning of the game over and over again.
Is it the knight?
Yeah, it's that giant knight on a horse.
Oh, they haven't played the base game?
No. He bought the $80 version with the Erd Tree expansion. He was ready to go. And yeah, I don't know how it's going forward, dude. I have to check in. I'll check in on him.
Nice.
That's sad. Well, I'm excited to play it. I haven't dove into it yet, but I do plan on it in the future. But our next piece of news is something that I'm also very excited about. So have you guys been keeping up with anything Superman, like the movie?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, so there's been like a ton of set leaks of like the new DCU Superman movie, and it has me super super excited. So like we've excuse me. So we only not only do we've gotten the reveal of David Cornsweet's suit, which happened a while back, and it got some mixed reviews. I thought it looked awesome personally, but since then it seems like every other day of the week we're getting like these set leaks from the new movie that James Gunn is producing. So like we're getting. It's actually funny that you pulled up this trailer, Robert. So this Christopher Reeves, his son is actually going to be doing a cameo in this new movie, which I thought was pretty cool because he was actually seen with James Gunn on the set of this movie as well in the set leaks. And also, we've seen Mr. Terrific in this movie. Like, I don't know exactly what role he's going to be playing, but they also released some set photos of him in this like exosuit thing with like a jetpack on it. I thought that was super sick. We also see like Hawk Girl and Guy Gardner. And then we've also seen like the Clark Kent, not just the Superman, but also the Clark Kent look for David Cornsweet in this movie. And this has me super excited. I feel like a lot of people are like very you either loved the Snyderverse or you hated the Snyderverse. Everyone also loves Henry Cavill. For me personally, I love Henry Cavill. I think he did a phenomenal job. I was not the biggest fan of the Snyderverse per se, but I do feel for the people that don't get any more of the Snyderverse, unfortunately. But I think James Gunn, I talked about this on the Optic Blast broadcast this past episode.
Plug.
Our most recent episode, I talked about that. Go check it out. And like, I love James Gunn and everything that he does. Obviously, he made all 3 Guardians movies. I think they're phenomenal films. Justin's a big fan. He didn't even like the Guardians before those movies, or at least he wasn't super familiar with them, and now he loves them.
I feel like that's true for 90% of the people who saw that movie.
Yeah, I would say that's true as well. But like James Gunn did a phenomenal job with those characters, that universe, and also the Suicide Squad movie. I think was great. It was definitely a lot better than the original movie that we got before that. So I don't know. I think James Gunn has a very unique and special understanding of the comic book world and is able to adapt that to the big screen very well. And I'm super excited for what he has set in the future with his launch of the DCU, starting with this Superman movie. And the more set leaks that I see, it gets me super excited. I can't wait till they actually release like a trailer for it. And then obviously I can't wait for the movie to come out. But I don't know. I just want to speak on that because I thought it was really cool. And all the set photos look really cool as well and very promising. And there's going to be a lot more characters than I honestly thought for a origin type Superman film, but I'm very excited for it.
Hey, dude, thanks for bringing a little Optic Blast broadcast to the Nerdy Reads podcast, bro. I mean, I'm not the biggest Superman guy, but this new one does sound interesting. And with Gunn behind it, I'm at the very least going to check out, like, if there's buzz around it, I'll slide to the theater and watch it.
I think with that, like even just tack onto that, I think anything that he does in the superhero universes, I think I would at least go watch. Even if it's Superman. And I'm not a big Superman hater. I'm just not a Superman, like as big a Superman fan. And we've had a Superman, or not even Superman, but we had a DC craze there for a while when we were buying every single Flashpoint comic that came into existence, including Superman. And some of those stories were cool. And there are some cool story arcs with Superman, but for the most part, sometimes I struggle a little bit with Superman in general. But I would definitely check out anything that Gunn does as far as that goes with comic book world. So I have faith that he'll do something cool with this.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely be providing updates, especially whenever that all the trailers and stuff release for those and the future projects that he does, because he is now basically the creative between him and Peter Safran. They're going to be like the creative heads of the new DCU. So I'll give you guys updates on the show if you guys are interested. If you're listening, let me know in our Discord or something if you're interested in hearing more about that. But the next thing is pretty crazy. And Robert and Justin insisted this makes nerdy news. So
I'm so glad it does.
I don't even really know much about the story as a whole. Okay. All I got is a headline. I don't know any more details other than that. Okay. But IGN came out from the source, Eurogamer, that a man was sentenced to 4 months in prison for carrying a 6-inch master sword in public. Okay. I am deeming this man the Master Sword Bandit. That is my name that I gave him.
That's a great name.
That's all the info I got. So
the Master Sword Bandit. I mean, you know, we throw a little something up here for all our listeners. If you could see this, we got the Master Sword Bandit. Here he is right
there
here.
He is. What
live in person.
He looks like a Master Sword Bandit.
So the dude's just walking around with the 6-inch Master Sword. 6-inch. I mean, what is it?
6-inch. Keep saying it. You know.
I just don't understand why you would get arrested for 4 months. I guess that's how they do things over there. Or maybe I'm just hey, you know what? That's what happens over in England, baby. You get arrested for a 6-inch Master Sword. Here in America, you can carry at 22 on your hip. God bless the USA.
Says the sword was not a prop. It was actually sharp and very dangerous.
Hey, bro. When was it illegal to carry swords around? We used to do this all the time back in the day.
Well, that's because this is America. That's how they do things over in England, baby. No swords.
No swords. Listen, if you go to England, leave your master swords at home, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it.
If Robert says 6-inch one more time, I'm going to change this man's name to 6-inch Bandit. Next segment.
All right. Robert, you know what time it is?
It's time for What's Hot. We here at the Nerdy Reads Podcast can't read everything. That's why I like to bring you something from around the book first that's popular. And this week, that is Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman, a chilling horror novel about a haunting tale told from the perspective of a young girl whose troubled family is targeted by an entity she calls Other Mommy. This comes from the New York Times bestselling author of The Bird Box. To 8-year-old Bella, her family is her world. There's Mommy, Dado, and Grandma Ruth. But there is also Other Mommy, a malevolent entity who asks her every day, "Can I go inside your heart?" I was going to start reading this book the day it dropped. It dropped last Tuesday, I think. But then my bro host said, "Brie, this is our October book club book." And he's right. So you heard it here first. This is the Nerdy Reads October pick. It sounds perfect for spooky season. I hope you guys join us. I cannot wait.
I just threw the cover art up there for those who might be listening, or not listening, but watching. And if you are listening, I encourage you just to go Google this book cover. And you can't judge a book by its cover. We know that, right? Like, we've read a lot of books that the covers were kind of okay. This cover, though, this cover is pretty epic. This cover sells me a little bit. I like it. You got the spooky little bunny doll thing there. So come on.
Solid Matt 13 in our Discord just finished this book. He told me it was spooky, quick read. That quote right there on the book from Grady Hendrix. This book is the monster that lives inside your closet. I'm in right there. I love Grady Hendrix. His endorsement, I'll read it.
Yeah. So if you're thinking about reading this, do it. But also, if you're thinking about reading this and you're like, "Hey, I can wait until spooky season," we're going to be doing it. So I think this would be a great book club book.
This has me interested.
Oh, there you go.
That's
if
all
Dylan's going to read it, then we're doing it.
Yeah, normally I would end this segment by telling you guys like the good read reviews and like what it's tagged. It's tagged horror. Incidents Around the House actually has a very strong Goodreads review. It's sitting at like 4.37 out of 5 with 10,000 ratings as of this video. And I may have over-exaggerated that 10,000. It's 1,600 ratings. But hey, check it out, everybody.
Still good. 1,600 people give it a thumbs up, you know.
But if you guys are looking for something more in the immediate future coming from the Nerdy Reads podcast, October is a long way away. That's off in the distant future. How about next Monday? We're going to drop another Nerdy Reads episode mini where we're going to be covering from You Like It Darker, Stephen King's short story, The Red Screen. So check out our socials on Monday for that Nerdy Reads mini drop. And then next week, we're going to continue with Rattlesnakes from You Like It Darker. This one's special. It's a sequel to Cujo, a movie book I haven't thought about since I was a kid. And we're going to have special guest host returning from our Ready Player One episode. It's Keaton. Kiwi himself will be here. I'm looking forward to next week. Shout out that one house elf in the Discord for letting me know that this was a sequel to Cujo so I can brush up on that before I jump in.
Yeah. All right, boys. That's it for us today. So we appreciate everybody who's been listening. We hope you're enjoying those micro episodes. We hope that you have been able to engage in that content. It seems like people are really, you guys are downloading that and you've checked us out on YouTube and done all those things. So we're very, very grateful for those of you who are just continue to encourage us by listening and chatting with us and all those kind of things. We're just grateful for it. We could never thank you guys enough. Speaking of thank you guys enough, Robert, why don't you go ahead and plug our friends Travis and Tyler's podcast that you were just on this past week, bro. Share with us, just give us the 20-second 10,000 foot view of being on the Last Co-op podcast, bro.
Bro, I love video games. One of my favorite things of all time. We almost did a video game podcast, but instead we did books. Well, Travis and Tyler launched the Last Co-op podcast. I promise you it is unlike any video game podcast you've ever listened to. They hate Nintendo, but I was there. I was on last week's episode. Check it out where I defended Nintendo from these haters. They do a good job over there. Thanks for having me on, guys.
That's right, bro. There's not a lot of video game podcasts that hate Nintendo, so that in and of itself makes them unique. But hey, go check out our friends over there. So hey guys,
I recently I haven't quite finished the episode that Robert was on, but I also went back and listened to the previous episode of the Last Co-op podcast, and I gotta say, Tyler and Travis, I don't know if I appreciate all the Xbox slander, okay?
They also hate Microsoft. They hate everything. You want a video game podcast about gamers who hate everything? That one is for you.
There you go. Hey, you're for sure going to be entertained. It's good stuff.
It is entertaining. It feels fresh in a space that's very crowded.
Yeah. So, hey, guys, we got a lot of things going on, like Robert said, and there's a lot of micro episodes, regular episodes. We got, we're about through the You Like It Darker book. So we're going to be announcing some of our next things that we're going to be doing as far as next book club book and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to want to keep up with us. Robert, where can they find us at?
You can find us over on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Goodreads at the Nerdy Reads podcast. And also on any of our social posts, you can find a link to our Discord. Hop in, join the chat, recommend stuff to us. Is there some food crime you want to see Dylan try? Is there something white and creamy that's plant-based we can get Justin to give a go? Let us know.
You're sick. You are sick. Hey, on this episode, we talked a lot about the You Like It Darker. We continued that. We had our 4th of July celebration. And one thing that we're noticing from our YouTube is that we are getting a lot of plays, and we appreciate you guys for watching us and checking that out. But something that we're noticing is that a lot of you aren't subscribed. So if you are not subscribed to the Nerdy Reads podcast YouTube channel, I encourage you to go do that, subscribe. You can hit the bell if you want to. If you don't want to, that's all right too. Dylan's like, no, it's not. Hit the bell. So hit the bell. All right. I only like to say one thing. I don't want to be too bossy. Okay. Just at least subscribe. Hit the bell. All right. Fine. Subscribe. And that's still, is that your advice for the week, is to hit the bell? I'm just joking. But yeah, go follow us, subscribe. And that really does help us out. It gets our show in front of more people. And we just really do appreciate that. And so without further ado, we've had a lot of things going on in this episode. Dylan's changed his hat. That's how serious this advice is going to be. He went from cowboy hat. He still has his little shorty shorts on, but he at least has his regular cap on. He's ready to get serious because it is time for advice from Sweet Baby Dylan.
Listen.
Oh no! He
What is
flipped the
happening?
headphones back. Oh no! We're getting cowboy.
Boy.
It's coming back. Oh boy! The cowboy hat looks even weirder without the sunglasses.
Listen. Don't put your empty firework boxes in the bonfire.
I mean, that's sound advice from Dylan.
Thank you, Dylan. I hope to wake up on July 5th with all 10 fingers and toes because of that advice.
Yeah. Hey guys, listen, be careful. Have fun out there for 4th of July. Spend some time with your fam. Cook out. You know, we suggest here at the Nerdy Reads podcast that you use Big Bruss seasoning to caress all your meats. Toasty! And all those things. Our man Virgil, dude, he makes that seasoning. He makes it real good. So you go over there, you get some Big Bruss seasoning, you season your ribs, you have some fun, hang out with your family, keep all your fingers and toes. Here at the Nerdy Reads podcast, we enjoy a good story. We believe that your story matters. So be good to each other and stay nerdy, our friends. Say bye, Dylan.
Bye.